Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about dialogue and how important it is for us to kind of pay attention to S.E. Hinton's writing and really look and see, how she uses different techniques in her writing to make her writing as great as it is. Dialogue is one of the components that we're going to be working on that we'll be focusing in on today. I'm going to have you, this is posted, this video that I've attached here is posted on the calendar for today. So what I want you to do is just before we, at some point before the end of the class period, I want you to watch this video and I want you to pay attention to how the babysitter and her use of dialogue really proves what her personality is and who she is as a person. Dialogue is important and it's very strong. And if a character says or does something, it really presents, a character trait to us when viewing or reading. So it's important to, really pay attention to how well, what she's saying is connected to, how we could see what her personality is and what her character traits are through her words. Dialogue needs to be punctuated properly. So this says here that the big idea is that dialogue, characters talking, is the spice that can make a good story become a wow story. It brings a story to life. It makes the difference between hearing about what characters are saying and actually having them say it, and it makes everything more immediate. The bad news is that there are about 12 zillion rules about punctuating dialogue, but the good news is that you can write pretty good dialogue if you're willing to learn and follow just a few rules. So here are the rules. Always put quotation marks around anything someone actually says. So for example, For example, stop, screamed Bob. You could see that around stop is quotation marks. And then the speaker tag is screamed Bob. Nobody's saying screamed Bob, so then of course there's no quotation marks around it. Another rule is make a new paragraph each time you switch speakers. So even if the he said phrase comes before the quote, even if it means that your paragraph is one word long, that's okay in dialogue. Every time a new speaker speaks, it starts on a new line. Okay, and then make sure that you change periods at the end of quotes to commas if the quote is followed by a he said phrase or like a speaker tag. All right, so always, it's okay to end in like a question mark or going back to the slide before, an exclamation mark. But if it's supposed to be a period, we never have a period at the end of the sentence. You want to make sure that you change all periods to commas. So you're standing on my foot, said Bob. So right here, you would never put a period. It would always be a comma. And then the speaker tag, and then the period goes at the end after the speaker tag. Okay, and this should have been something that I'm sure hopefully you learned in 6th grade, but if you didn't, we're reiterating the importance of punctuating dialogue, well, because that's important. Obviously, grammar is going to be part of it. If you're not using grammar properly, you're going to score lower on your overall rubric. All right, so when you think about dialogue and characters, and after you viewed the video that I had tagged linked in the calendar for today, and you could see that babysitter's personality and what she's saying, you could really tell who she is. I want you to think about these 3 characters. You have this guy over to the left who's a singer. You have this guy in the middle who looks kind of angry, and then this girl all the way to the right, and she doesn't look too happy either. So maybe they're saying, I don't know what y'all are angry about, but I am just going keep singing. All right, so notice how I changed that dialect there. Dialect is the way in which somebody is speaking. So you could tell, maybe if he's from the South a little bit, he has that Southern accent. So that's a great way to add life to your dialogue. Then the angry man, I named him Bob. You keep us up at night with your singing, he's barking. Okay, it's a great idea to vary your speaker tags and to, again, thinking about the characters in your head and what you want them to say, you want whatever they're saying, their dialogue, to fit their personalities as much as possible, because dialogue should just be just doing that, backing up the characters and the character traits and personality of your character. And then the last one, the girl says, "Ew, your music is like embarrassing. I can't even have friends over," argued Emma. So clearly we have a couple of disgruntled neighbors annoyed because this guy is singing all night long. What I want you to do next is go into your narratives as a mentor text workbook. I posted this on the classroom stream for today, and I want you to, if you I printed them for you, so my students that were in person, you have these. Your parents can certainly come and pick them up in the front office, or you can just print them right from the stream. And so basically, if you turn to page 16, it says activity 2, focus on dialogue. And what I want you to write in these 4 boxes is I just want you to write 4 different examples of dialogue that you found in The Outsiders in chapter 1. I want you to, really pick the ones that you feel show the personality of those characters. Why did Essie Hinton decide to use that line of dialogue? What was she trying to prove about the character by using that choice of words? So find 4 of them. It's always a good idea to look at mentor texts like The Outsiders that are written by, great authors to help us improve our own writing, right? And then I want you, when you're done with that, to examine the samples of dialogue that you found. What do you notice about how your author uses dialogue to develop the characters, events, or experiences in your novel? All right, again, what do you notice about how your author uses dialogue to develop the characters, events, or experiences? So answer that question. Really think about your 4 examples and ask yourself, how did she use these quotes or this dialogue to really develop the story? Okay, what do we know now about the characters or the events or the experiences that we wouldn't have known if it weren't for the dialogue? And that's why authors use dialogue, to really get into the heads of the characters. So you're going to work on that activity. And then I want you to, lastly, you're going to create 3 unique lines of dialogue with pictures included, and create what they can be saying to each other. So this is going to be assigned to you in classwork. So again, for today, your activities for today are to fill out your 4 examples of dialogue that were in The Outsiders, and I'm going to have you just take a picture of this and attach it to your dialogue activity that you're going to be doing in class. And what that is again, you're going to creating 3 lines of dialogue just like I did before. So I'm going to show you 3 pictures, and I want you to kind of come up with, and you don't have to use my pictures, by the way. If you want to go onto Google and search your own pictures and come up with your own conversation between 3 people, then by all means you can do that. But I did provide you with a few in case you don't want to do that. So I have 3 people here. We have this guy who's kind of like this chill, super dude. You have this old lady with a baseball bat, and you have this guy with 2 wads of money. So what could they possibly be saying to each other? What are their personalities? Think about the dialect. Think about what they're going to say, how they're going to say it, what is their tone. This is, again, how books don't have pictures. So think about if those people are the characters in your book, how are we going to know who they are as people? What are you going to say? So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to assign this to you. Again, I want it to look just like mine, where you'll have the 3 people, and then I'm going to be looking to make sure that your dialogue is punctuated properly. And then I want you to just come up with 3 different people that are kind of talking to each other. So this is a great little dialogue mini lesson. Please attach the 4 outsider examples of dialogue and the question at the bottom. Take a picture of it. And this, as well as the pictures and the 3 examples of dialogue, are what I'm looking for you if you are virtual today. So please make sure that you do your assignment. This will be counted as a class grade. Okay, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.